This is News 6 Tonight.
Hello and welcome to the Thursday edition of News 6 Tonight. Since Monday, and it has been a rock and rolling week. We started the week really fast and furious, and we're still there. Things have only progressively gotten worse if you are about to fly, it seems like, because the government is still shut down. A lot of stuff is happening at the airports. You were at the airport today. I'm Ginger Gadsden, by the way. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for introducing yourself. My name's Matt Austin. You might be asking yourself, why is Matt showing so much skin today?
No.
I know that's what you were thinking.
No
Look at all this arm I'm showing today because I was out at the airport. What's wrong with you?
You make me sad.
So it really is a big story, and I was interested to go out there and to talk to people. It's hard when you're at the airport in a situation like this because I want to hear from the passengers, but I really feel like the biggest impacts right now are the folks who are working, and they can never talk to us. They'll talk to you on the side, but
they can't talk to you on camera.
They're told not to speak to the media,
which
which is completely understandable right now. But they're all doing a really good job. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
TSA catches a lot of flack. I myself have been mad at them at times trying to get through the safety line.
Check your attitude.
But these people are getting attitude, and they're not getting paid right now. Yeah. All they're getting right now is attitude.
It's a hard time. Yeah.
So the FAA, if you're just tuning in with us, if you haven't been paying attention to the headlines, the FAA has ordered that a 10% reduction in flights is going to take place in the 40 biggest airports, right?
Starting tomorrow, right?
It all starts tomorrow, and then it gets phased in through the week. So if you are headed to the airport and you're worried, oh, is my flight one of the 10% tomorrow? That's not the way the numbers break out. They are easing us into it. Mm-hmm. But as we get into the next week, 10% of those flights are going to be canceled. And I spoke to airport personnel today. They told me that this has really little to do with them, is what they were saying. They said, we're basically the mall and they're the stores, and they decide which flights are getting cut.
Okay, so you're talking about the people who work at MCO, right? Is that who you're talking about?
Well, so I'm talking about
leaders.
So you have the airport itself, who I was like, hey, what should people do if they're traveling? And they say, you should check with your airline, because your airline is the one who's going to decide what the schedule looks like and which flights are getting cut. And I've seen different reports about how United might be trying to cut smaller regionals.
Sure.
You know, rather than, if you only have a certain number of flights you can get in, you're probably going to go with the flights that don't make you as much money. Yeah. A big 747 that flies from Orlando to LaGuardia every day, packed with, hundreds of people.
Yeah.
They're going to want to keep that flight because they probably make the most money. So anyway, I got a chance to talk to travelers as well. They were relieved today just for the fact that they feel like they're getting out. You ever get off a theme park ride, you have a great time, and you step off, and then the thing breaks, and the people who are waiting in line behind you are stuck? Mm-hmm. That's sort of how they feel. Like, I'm the last one before things really get hairy here. So here's some of the folks at MCO today that I got to meet.
What is your anxiety level, 1 to 10?
0.
0. You're not worried about it at all?
At all.
I don't have any today.
No anxiety.
No anxiety.
You feel good. Everything's
I
very
feel good.
Travelers at MCO are relieved to get home before the bulk of flight reductions begin. However, people across the country are worried about next week. The FAA started cutting flights today. The percentage will continue to ramp up into next week until it reaches that 10% reduction. MCO released a statement saying this. This may mean fewer arrivals and departures, which could help slow the rate of activity in the national airspace system and assist airports that are experiencing staffing changes. However, the FAA has not given MCO official notification on its status. Here's Sean Duffy, Transportation Secretary.
Some of them are not coming to work. It's a problem. I want them to come to work and do their jobs, but that's the reality that I deal with. And so you've seen a lot of delays and cancellations through the airspace. Taking 10% of the flights out will reduce that pressure.
And while passengers in Orlando are unfazed by the flight reductions, they hope federal workers will get a paycheck soon.
Unfortunately, the people that are causing all this disruption, they're getting paid, and they don't need to get paid. So here we are, blue collar, trying to make a living, trying to take care of their families, and they're getting the blank end of the stick.
I'll
We
tell
can
you.
fill in the blank.
Yes, you can. People are angry at politicians.
Oh.
They were very
All of 'em.
fine with their flights.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the politicians on both sides. I mean, people. I would be walking. I can't believe they let the government shut down. I mean, they do have one main job.
Yeah.
It's to
And
keep everything
Going
moving.
smoothly, yeah.
And when you start impacting people's ability to get to see their family over Thanksgiving
Oh
or
my
on Christmas,
gosh.
you're going to really make
Or
some
it's just,
folks
you know,
angry.
there are people who are planning, who are flying out to go to weddings coming up because this is a nice time of year to do that, or they're coming into town for a wedding because Florida, Orlando is a great place to have weddings year round. I wish we could all have the chill factor of the first guy you interviewed, but he flew in because he's going to
There's a
EDC,
reason
right?
he's so chill. That's the way people who go to the Electric Daisy Carnival are. It's the second time going to the
Zero
EDC.
anxiety.
He has no anxiety about anything. He's just very excited to be in Orlando and to go check
Well,
out.
he
that
made it. He
music
made it.
festival.
So
hopefully he can get out on Monday. That's
Well,
going to be the question.
I want to find that guy on Monday and see what his chill
I
level
have a
is there.
feeling he's going to be
Still
all
gonna
right.
he's like, it's fine, I'll just walk.
He's like, you don't want to talk to me. I don't care about any of this. Doesn't matter.
Well, that's a great attitude. Sadly, that's not the attitude that most people have right now at the airport.
You can't have it if you're a worker at the airport.
No, that is for sure. So these TSA workers, they are still on the job. We are 36 days now into the longest government shutdown on record, and they have missed, I think, a total of 2 paychecks now. And I heard somebody say the other day, okay, they tell us to save, and maybe you can miss 1 paycheck. I don't know of a whole lot of people who could miss 2 paychecks and still have a normal life. But that's like, Matt, if they said to you, you know what? We're not agreeing on how you should do your job, but I want you to come to work every day, still anchor all these shows and do what you do, be at the airport reporting, but you're not going to get a paycheck
And
until
maybe we'll give you back pay.
maybe,
whenever.
but we're not going to pay you until we figure this all out. So you just keep coming to work though, because you're essential. That's what they're telling the TSA workers. And I tell you, I've flown a couple of times since it's been shut down. They are delightful. And I wouldn't be. And I'm just being honest because people aren't nice to them. You have to tell them, they have to still follow the rules. And it is awful that these people have to work without a paycheck and they have families and the holidays are coming up. Tylisa Hampton spoke to one TSA worker and has his story.
I'm News 6's Tylisa Hampton. With the government shutdown continuing, it's been impacting many TSA workers financially. And I spoke with a TSA worker. He says not getting his paycheck but continuing to have his bills pile up has been a struggle.
As the hustle and bustle floods the Orlando International Airport. For some walking in, they're about to clock in another day without pay.
Knowing that on Friday I'm not going to get a check is where it starts to hit.
How much of a financial strain has it been not getting paid?
It's been pretty straining. You have to worry about your rent, things like car insurance.
With the government shutdown stretching on, thousands of Transportation Security Administration officers nationwide who are essential workers are not being paid. Walter Penn is one of many TSA workers in Orlando feeling the pressure on his wallet.
To the small part of gas, to come to work, and we're still expected to be here on time. Passengers come with their entitlement, and some of them really don't care that you're not getting paid.
Hoping he won't have to get a second job and they will get back pay.
That is a big challenge, because if we're here working for free, then that's not going to work at all.
For Walter, the shutdown is like baggage that gets heavier to carry every day, hoping lawmakers will see and offer relief.
Please just get it together, figure this out, and so we can get back to our normal lives and continue trying to keep the public safe.
Yeah, what he said, get it together. And hopefully those suitcases for those guys will be filled with cash at the end of all of this. The government shut down, but bill collectors are not. They're still calling people. Like he said, I still have to pay my rent.
Yeah,
I still have to eat. I still have to put gas in the car. Life goes on.
it does. I will be very interested to see how long this can go on for,
I
because
don't-
if we get close to Thanksgiving,
We are close. It's 3 weeks.
I know, but if we get to where Thanksgiving is within range here, within a week or so, if you are a TSA worker not receiving pay and you had sick time and you think, oh, I'm going to go work basically for free
And be away from my
be away
family.
from my family on Thanksgiving, I don't know, man. And that's when everybody's traveling. That's when everybody wants to fly. So
That's
it's going to
gonna
be a
be
real
chaotic.
complicated
Yeah.
situation if DC can't figure its stuff
I
out.
hope they can
all
figure
this
it out
week.
just for all of us.
And I want to sort of tie a bow on all of this because Donovan Myrie, one of our investigators, he did some really interesting work today looking into what your rights are. There are a whole bunch of rights I never knew about. One time I was on a ski trip. We were going with the whole family.
Oh, I know this story.
They lost all of our luggage for pretty much the whole trip.
hmm
And someone told us, hey, go buy everything you need and whatever it is,
get
your
reimbursed.
rentals and whatever, and they have to reimburse you.
Yeah.
It's a federal law.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and that turned out to be true. So
Mhm.
he's looking at the rights you have specifically in this moment right
Yeah.
now with these airlines. Can they just cancel your ticket? If you booked a ticket to Honolulu 3 months ago, can they cancel it? What happens if they do? Here's Donovan Myrie with that.
We talked about FAA flight reductions, 10% of all flights, 40 major airports at 1,800 flights per day that are going to be affected. So far, here are the airlines that we've heard from. We've heard from American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines on what's going to happen. This was a great quote from the United Airlines CEO. He said, any customer traveling during this period is eligible for a refund. And this I thought was so interesting. Even the non-refundable tickets. So basically what they're saying is, we got you, don't worry about it, get through this together. Who have we not heard from? Well, we haven't heard from our friends at Spirit Airlines, at Frontier Airlines. Let's see, here we go. Frontier Airlines, Southwest Airlines, JetBlue, and Spirit, although Matt did allude earlier today into what some of the Frontier Airlines CEO said. So again, now, passenger bill of rights. Airline passengers are entitled to a full refund for the following: canceled flights, departures or arrival delays of 3 hours or more, for domestic, 6 hours for international, and airline computer failure, okay? Airline passengers are not entitled to a full refund for the following: weather delays, air traffic control system failures, and factors outside of an airline's control.
Is that not an air traffic control failure not to have enough air traffic controllers? That seems like a
think
failure.
That is a failure, but I think they realize what is coming from this. He alluded to the Frontier Airlines CEO who told the Associated Press today, it might be a good idea if you're traveling during the holidays to buy a backup plane ticket. So buy your Frontier ticket with them and then maybe buy one to the same city on United or American Airlines
Who
to give yourself a
has
better.
that
That's
kind of
what
money
I'm
to buy
saying.
2 tickets.
I guess they're giving out refunds, but now you've got to front that extra money. It's a crazy thing to say.
I
I
can't
did
believe
not
it was said out loud.
I know.
Oh
Apparently,
well.
Apparently it was.
Okay, well, we still have much more to come on News 6 tonight, including what if you are in need of help, you're not getting food assistance, but you work during the day, and a lot of people work during the day and still can't make ends meet, but they need help from the pantry. Our Troy Campbell was able to find one that's open at night, and we're going to tell you about it when we come back. Yeah, and he got the latest from the sheriff just a little while ago, I think. So we'll make sure we have that for News 6 tonight. hey, thanks for stopping by. We know you're busy, but news doesn't stop, and neither do we.
That's right. And this is News 6 Tonight, where we leverage this entire busy newsroom with our community correspondents, our producers, our content desk, and then we filter through that. We have a casual conversation about the news that impacts Central Florida.
Yeah, we live here in the community, and we rely on you for our neighborhood network because you're our eyes and ears as well, and we can't do it without you.
So you can watch us all over the place, YouTube, News 6 Plus app, and clickorlando.com. While you're here, feel free to engage. Let us know who you are and where you're from.
Welcome back to News 6 Tonight, Thursday edition. We are so close to the weekend.
I can smell it.
Is
It's
that what
almost
that
here.
is? Okay, it's the weekend. Great. Love it. We've been talking a lot about things being cut because the government is shut down. The federal government is not up and running yet. We just talked about TSA workers having to show up and not getting paid. Well, a lot of families are supposed to get SNAP benefits and WIC for women in infant and children, get those benefits. Those haven't started to roll in just yet. So they rely on food pantries. Very often, those pantries are open during the day, and that's when people are working. But your Orange County community correspondent, Troy Campbell, was able to find a food pantry and a food drive that's doing it a little differently.
We stopped by North Orlando Seventh-day Adventist Church, who say they hold this food drive in the evening because people work during the day, and that need is increasing. How about the timing of this being at night? Does that help?
It does. It does because I work in the daytime, so it's perfect. I just got off at 5:30 and I came right on over.
Shanoy Reed says, as a mother of two, she's stopping by to get some food donations after finishing a full day of work. Are you currently not getting SNAP benefits?
Nope, I'm not getting
Do you
it.
you typically get them, and right now that you're not getting them?
Yeah, I normally get them. Right now I'm not getting them, so this was a good resource for us.
Others say they don't qualify for SNAP, but still don't have enough money for food.
They said I work too much money, and $18.50, they don't give me nothing.
So you're in that middle where you have a job, you just don't make enough, but
No.
you make too much to qualify for SNAP benefits, but you have your 6 kids and it brings you here to this food drive.
Yeah.
Pastor Gregory Carroll says the food drive is a simple process, allowing people to stay inside their vehicles.
Food insecurity hits everybody.
And for Wednesday's food drive, they say they packed 150 boxes. However, halfway through, they've already run out. So they're quickly filling these boxes just to meet the demand of all the cars pulling up.
The stories are emotional. They come in and you give them the food and they break down in tears.
I love that when the community, and especially a church like that, steps in to fill the need of families. No questions asked. They need it. They get it. And this is just a regular Wednesday night. We need dinner on the table. Think of Thanksgiving coming up when families like to gather and sit together and, just have a bigger meal. That likely is going to be a lot harder for people because those were just the staples. You talk about putting a turkey in the center of all of that. And it's even more expensive and harder for families to make ends meet and be able to do that.
Yeah, it's a really awful.
It is. You feel bad about. I mean,
You do, but there are glowing lights. It's the look for the helpers.
Oh my gosh!
When you see folks who are just taking it upon themselves. Okay, well, the government's not going to feed these people, so our church will do it.
Yeah.
Or, our organization.
And
So it's really nice
I
to
hope,
see.
I think moving forward, we're going to start seeing more of that. Even when the federal government opens again, I think we're going to start seeing communities come together and make sure that my neighbor never needs anything again.
Yeah, you don't. we're not going to watch somebody starve. that's
No, for sure.
Okay, we have seen this. Let's take a turn away from we've had a lot of these stories are just overtaken by the federal government shutdown. It's impacting so many layers of life these days. But let's take a turn here. There's been a huge rise in online gambling, and this is an issue. We've seen a lot of new sports betting in particular that is hitting young men.
Here.
It's right there
Right in your
on your
hand.
phone all the time. So imagine if a slot machine were in your pocket and you play this for actual money. This blows my mind. What could possibly go wrong here, right? I mean, you could just lose money all day long.
Yeah.
So the Hard Rock Bet app is now using this feature. It just dropped. Our investigator, Mike DeForest, is looking into it.
For the past few years, Floridians have been allowed to legally bet on sports like basketball and football using the mobile app Hard Rock Bet. Now, a new feature on the app is being rolled out. Players push a button to spin reels like a slot machine. Money is quickly won or lost like a slot machine. But technically, it's not a slot machine. Instead of betting on what symbols randomly appear, players are actually betting on NASCAR races. Players bet on NASCAR races that happened in the past, sometimes years ago. Confused? I'll try to explain. Players have the option of spinning the wheels or clicking this small button in the corner to enter the race view. Here, players bet on the order of the top 4 finishers of a completed NASCAR race. In other words, who came in first, second, third, and fourth place. The dates of the race and the drivers' names are not disclosed. The drivers are simply labeled A, B, C, and D. Players can then manually choose when they think drivers A, B, C, and D cross the finish line. Or, to make it much, much easier, players can simply select an automatic quick pick. That's done by pushing the button and spinning the reels. The slot machine animation lets players know whether they won their bets on the NASCAR race, and if so, how much. Later, the app reveals the specific race, such as the Coca-Cola 600 in May 2022, the names of the drivers, and the order they crossed the finish line.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not a slot machine. It's sports betting. Are you kidding me?
It's one of those things where, you know, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, usually it's a duck. This
No, but you're betting on a sporting event that already happened that you don't know the result of.
don't even
No,
is this real life? What's
You
happening?
have to respect the legal abilities of
Somebody
these
thought
big
about that.
organizations. Okay, what if we wanted to do slot machines,
But-
we couldn't call them slot machines, and it has to do with sports betting?
Yeah.
That's one way to do it.
And
I mean,
we were
that's
just-
interesting.
I mean, and if you've ever seen, even in the airport in Vegas, you go and they have slot machines.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you've ever been to a casino and you see people who are playing the slot machines, they're in a trance. And so imagine having that in your hand all day
All the
long.
time. I read an article in PubMed about the addictive properties of slot machines. It said they did this big study in Canada. They're psychologically deceptive, and they make gambling addicts of people who aren't even predisposed to the addictions. So it makes gambling addicts out
terrifying.
of people who usually wouldn't
Let
even have
that
to worry
sink
about it.
in.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get you to meteorologist Jonathan Kegas for a quick check of that weather. He's going to be coming up at 9:30 with a big weather show. What do you think? Would you do a little slot machine in your pocket there, bud?
You know, you can do that in a lot of states outside of Florida. FanDuel, DraftKings, they have them already. Like straight up slots. Blackjack
So this isn't the
tables.
first one.
No. Yeah, it's
Okay.
crazy. I mean, they have live dealers on those apps. You can just dial in and
What?
it's crazy. So it's like middle of the night. You just feeling a little bored. You just pop up the phone, and they've got a bunch of actual dealers on video, and then you just join in almost like you're playing like a video game, and then you can just bet money right there from your phone, play the hand.
That
play the
sounds
poker.
awful and dangerous.
Yes, absolutely. Also fun sometimes.
I'm wondering, how do you know all this, Jonathan?
Research.
Oh,
Just been doing a lot of
because
research.
I happen to be from a state that has it legalized, and when I go home every now and then, put a little
Okay.
bit
Take
on
part.
black.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right, good to know. Jonathan
Just
Kegas.
told on himself.
So
Just
it's about to be cold again, right? In a few days here. When are things going to turn around for us?
Well, if I was a betting man, and
Sounds like you are.
maybe just a little bit. So look at this, guys. This is the feels like forecast. So it's the heat index, and the wind chill all in there. Okay, so this is starting on Sunday afternoon and then going till Tuesday morning. So Sunday, with the humidity factored in, it's going to feel like 87 degrees. Look to the right of the screen there. Tuesday morning, the wind chill is going to be 37 degrees in Orlando.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, we are shaving off 50 degrees in about 50 hours from how it's actually going to feel when you step out the door.
We're not built for that, Jonathan.
It's kind of crazy. It's like Montana-esque. Like now, Montana, they'll drop that in probably like 12 hours sometimes. So it's a little more extreme out there, but still, this is going to be significant. And again, the humidity is not that crazy on Sunday, so the actual air temperature is 86. So it's going to be crazy.
Interesting. All right. Check out
talk
more
about that.
on why that is happening coming up at 9:30. Jonathan Kagas, thank you very much for the update.
Thank you.
You got to stick around for this story. I want to save a little time for it. Shooting over chickens and eggs. What came first, the chicken, the egg? You'll find out.
The bullet?
After the break.
Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart. Also, good looking. Because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down below.
Gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh.
All right, here's a Florida man story for you. A guy and another guy cannot agree over how many eggs a chicken lays, and it ends in gunfire. Roll it.
And that conversation got a little heated, and as it went out into the parking lot, the conversation continued, and the shooter became agitated, became paranoid.
Fired about 4 shots. Thankfully,
Look at him.
he's dressed like a farmer, so he might know a little bit about how many eggs a chicken can lay. How many eggs do you think a chicken can lay, Matt?
Usually one a day, I think.
Just one a day. That is absolutely right.
Was
but
this guy right or wrong?
I don't know. Somebody was wrong. He was wrong for shooting
He
somebody.
looks like he would know how many eggs a chicken would lay in a day. I'd believe him. What?
Oh my God! I don't know
cannot
what's happening.
even believe this is a real story.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you back here with more headlines at 10. Bye.